Okay, and straight we jump to the second set of semi-finals of Jägerlisk Master Cup, and my good servant Alfred has even changed the nicknames of the players themselves. Unbelievable.
Very good job, Alfred.
Yeah. Thank you, Master. I will never get bored with doing the old man's voice. Now, I just wonder, is Blizzard being sponsored by Monster? Just taking into account the logo that you have near the Zerg's base?
Very good point. It might be...
Coincidence? Or is it?
It might be not coincidence. Might be subliminal message by someone. No? Could be.
By the way, people are saying that Tefel is in Team Dignitas. Why does he have his nickname called Blast? Tefel.
I have no idea. When
Let's
I checked,
just
though,
change it to
that's
Tefel
been
then.
one of his nicknames. Yeah.
Let's just... thank you, Alfred. Thank you again for being such a faithful servant. And here in the top right corner, with a proper introduction, dear ladies and gentlemen, this is PWF Tails.
Yeah, PWF, apparently a force to be reckoned with in the beta. They have at least a couple of top-ranked players. And I feel like another PWF player has been in this tournament before. I feel like I've casted a game.
And by the way, I love
before, so.
three-letter acronyms are the best, because you can go for something like PWF. You know, it's something you can do the trailerman voice with.
Yeah, it's very hard hitting. Whereas like 4 is like that's too many. 2, it's like not enough.
Yeah,
3.
you know.
Actually, I mean, traditionally, like in fairy tales and things like that, the number 3 is almost always, you know, how many wishes do you get from the genie? 3. You know, how many little pigs were there? 3. You know, if you just go into like storytelling, this is actually a thing in storytelling. 3 is just a number that shows up more than any other.
Even more than 7, which is significant, guys.
And especially considering that 7 technically is more than 3, so...
I think we have gotten too deep into that discussion. But then, imagine a team with a 7-letter long name. It would be called like something like, you know, XTHFWMO. You know, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound fancy. You get bored somewhere along the way.
Yeah, definitely.
So hey, here we are, Tefel taking a very fast expansion after taking the pool, which is significant against Terran because most Zergs play without the spawning pool first, which is one of the trademarks of Tefel's play. PWF Tails on the other side of the map is going for a reactor close to his barracks. He'll be building a factory and going probably for a style very similar to what Goody was doing, and he's also building a supply depot, which I love, because if you build a wall in front of your natural, even though people think that, oh yeah, on Daybreak it's not really worth having a wall, it's too broad, some people go for that wall and it pays back.
Yeah, definitely. I really like it, especially against Zerg. It's very nice to be constricting the counterattack paths of Zerglings, as they are very fast and very good at wrapping around and killing everything in sight.
Yeah, position of the bunker very solid. I think by now everyone is doing this. Back in the days, people have been mostly building bunkers in front of their own bases, and you know, at certain point people discovered that, hey, if I build a bunker here, first, it doesn't get so easily surrounded by Zergling. Second, it covers a huge part of a mineral line at the natural. Third, it covers most of the, well, it covers all of the ramp that's approaching my main. It's awesome. This building placement covers, you know, 3 parts of my base at once. Whoa.
It's definitely a really nice bunker placement. It's kind of the funner things. Actually, messing around, more fun things. Messing around with building placement is one of my favorite things to do in Starcraft.
It's your thing.
It's one of my things. I've got many, but that's definitely up there on the list.
Yeah.
I've spent probably too much time experimenting with building placements.
So yeah, it looks like a solid macro game, and Tefel already taking his third. We'll see how this plays out. I mean, right now the game is pretty stable. Both of these guys are just trying to find loopholes. Now, Tefel may go for some nice aggression with roaches. He's building a one evolution chamber that doesn't mean he's going all in, but he has enough queens, and with 3 hatcheries he will most definitely be able... Oh my god! No, that wasn't supposed to happen!
Right through. See how many drones he gets. They are lined up, and that's a couple. Got a couple. Oh, no, and they're going towards the... Oh my god. Completing a sentence would be awesome right now, but I feel like I'm incapable of doing that. And 11 workers have been fired up and fried upon the Zerg barbecue.
I just imagine these Hellions jumping straight into the base with a yell on their mouths. You are fired!
They're the Donald Trump Hellions.
Pyromaniacs.
You're fired. You're fired. You know?
Oh my god. Now another set of Hellions. This set probably will not do such a huge damage as the last one, although don't quote me on that please. A lot of things happen in Starcraft 2. This queen is here on the god. Most queens just sit on the throne, but this one is here to spread jelly all over the ground. Yes.
So we got the...
Yeah, this is jelly. When a kid asks you, when you have a 5-year-old kid and he asks you, Dad, what is this thing that the Zergs are covering ground with? Will you tell them that it's rotten body parts of the killed enemies and you know, all the biomass being reproduced over and over again in a huge biological cycle? No, you will say it's jelly. Yeah. What? Now we have a drop.
You wouldn't say that?
Yeah, I would say that. Now we have a drop in the main with a couple of Widow Mines, always a worthy addition to a drop. Roaches are here to clear this up, although, do we have detection? Yes, we do. There is an overseen morph right now, and these Widow Mines don't stand a single chance.
Yeah, you got to be really careful with the Widow Mines because although they don't deal damage
to
buildings...
wait, hold that thought, because we have another run by Tails at the top base, and we are now down to 28 workers, 29 workers killed, just that one last worker being killed. A way of saying in your face by these Hellions of MVP Tails, sorry, not MVP Tails, PWF Tails. Yeah, got carried over. And yeah, PWF Tails preparing himself, and Tefel with a huge roach run by. Will Tails have enough force to deal with this?
Oh no!
Workers! Oh no! You shouldn't do that with the Widow Mines.
That's exactly what I was just about to talk about. You can't. You have to be really careful with the Widow Mines.
Oh.
They're going to. Oh.
Boy, that was unexpected.
That hurts the team. Oh my god, that's so sad.
And even a retarded face from one of our Polish commentators on the chat. Yeah, this is probably how Tails feels like right now. You have gotten so used to defending with your SCVs that you have just forgotten that you can't do that with a Widow Mine.
Not when you have a Widow Mine that close.
Oh my god.
This is going to be a wrap up with Tefel. I really don't think he can hold it. I mean, although we've got some Widow Mines hanging out, and the Overseer sort of crushes
But I already see a janitor with a broom trying to clear up the Terran's base before the next game, somewhere in the background in blue overalls. And hey, this is a point where you lose your game. I'm sorry, my friend, if you lose around 20 SCVs in a single blow of your own damn Widow Mine. It has to hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm running out of tea, but we're also running out of games for this tournament, so hopefully it will be enough. Any other smart comments after this game? We have covered it. Yeah, we have covered it all.
I mean, we've pretty much given a lecture on smart comments, I feel, at this point. Everyone knows what a smart comment is and how to do it.
In 50 years, people will be studying our commentary to find out what is the way to comment smartly.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm cool with that. I mean, you know, it's whatever I create is public domain.
That's really generous of you. That's really
Yeah,
generous of you.
probably someday someone will take that up to when I already run a huge corporation called Jägerlisk Global something.
Global oil conglomerate.
Or India company, then someone will bring that the fragment of our cast today, and they will put that in court, and Yegwen will be saying, "Yeah, everything I do is public domain, so up yours." And I lay my case. So we're waiting to be invited to the next game. My dear admin,
Yes.
next game invite, mate. I know my wife is a very jolly conversation partner, but still, the show needs rolling. Okay, we are in the lobby right now. The map is going to be New Kirk City, which for me is hugely related to the Star Trek universe. Have you watched Star Trek?
I've watched the movies, and I used to watch the older Captain Kirk ones. I didn't watch too many of the next gen.
Right. So there was a stage in my life where I have rediscovered Star Trek, and it was like a year ago. I was bored in the afternoons, and and I said, well, yeah, I remember Star Trek was cool. The Next Generation with Jean-Luc Picard. I didn't know a bald man can be so handsome. And I started watching. I got sucked in, watched all the episodes that ever were of Star Trek, The Next Generation. Then I have watched Deep Space Nine. Then I have watched the Voyager series. Then I have watched the Enterprise series. And the only series I didn't end up watching was the original one. Because when I saw, after getting used to the special effects from the later series, when I saw one of the first episodes of the old series, I took a step back, took a deep breath, and said, "Okay, you'll do this some other time, mate."
That's why it's important to watch them in order, otherwise you get that little bit of things off.
Yeah. For a second, I was thinking that Tails is going to do something silly, but hold that thought. No, not right now. And on this map, by the way, it's good to know this fact about the new Kirk City, that when you're a Zerg, you're extra confident with your scouting, because you can just send Overlord to a spot there is no danger related, and a Terran can't even get Marines quick enough to intercept your Overlord, which is pretty huge. And the only way to abuse that is if you take a ninja expansion around the top of the map on your side, because then Zerg probably won't scout for it. Am I right?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a great advantage that you don't have to drone scout on this map. It's not necessary. A lot of times, Zerg players will drone scout on other maps because they're afraid to send their overlords out. So, a little bit of extra minerals in the pocket of Tefel for this.
Yeah. So we have a drone scout. We have a drone that will be taking the expansion, but after the spawning pool again. That's something that Tefel does every single game. It's his trademark. He doesn't open with anything else. And at a certain point, if you become known too much with doing only one opening, even if it is a very safe opening, I imagine people will start to abuse that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the very early days of Starcraft 2, that's what happened to Idra. He was very, very predictable. He would always go for the macro game every time, and people would take advantage of that.
Yep. But then Tefel, otherwise, I'm not, criticizing him. I'm just saying that's something you should avoid. You should avoid if you become too well known for being a certain type of a player, or just doing a certain type of a strategy, like Goody has became known for going for mech at all times. People will blind counter you, and what you should do in that situation is just start playing something completely different, and that way you will catch your opponent off guard.
Yeah, I think that's one of the strengths of the very, very top players, is that they have the ability to play many different styles. of play. But I mean, you know, even players, different players like Squirtle, they have one opening that they stick with, but they can do anything out of it. They have one opening, and they could be going Stargate, Robo, whatever. So even if you scout them, you're like, oh yeah, this is what, you know, this is what Tefel always does. But anything could be coming up as a following, and is totally safe. So I can't really blind counter it, but.
Yep, since we have a little bit of a downtime here in the game, what I wanted to say, guys, is if you want to participate in a contest we do, we would like to hear from you, we would like to know your opinion. If you go to Team Liquid, to our stream thread, or the thread about this tournament, if you leave a comment, you will enter the pool of people that we will draw one copy of Heart of the Swarm each month between... I'm not sure how to construct that sentence, to be honest, but what you get from this ramble that I'm into is that you can win a Heart of the Swarm copy if you leave a comment on Team Liquid. That should be as simple as that. Thank you. Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the third hatchery coming down, so quick third hatchery. Surprised no Watchtower being taken yet, no Zerglings being produced.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. Now with the overload placement, yeah, with the overload placement, there are 2 Zerglings. There are. Oh, they are just on their way.
They just got made as I was saying that.
It's kind of odd if you start off with such a quick spawning pool and you don't build Zerglings to control the map. Well, I imagine it's. Yeah, I mean, what do I know? I'm a caster.
Well, I think it's just somewhat of a safety precaution. It's a little bit safer. To do that,
and also you don't want to go. You don't want to give the map control to the Terran early on. And you know, guys, if you are new with StarCraft, map control is one of the unseen resources in StarCraft. Map control is actually a resource. If you lose it too much, you will suffer great losses later in the game. Now we have 4 Hellions. There is a nice wall off here. 2 queens really are nice the bouncers, and they will not let the Hellions or Hellbats into the disco, no matter what sort of a dance they can do. And that's it. They stand and they stand their ground.
Do you know if Hellions have a dance?
I'm not sure. I'm sure Hellbats do, but.
I mean,
can we go and ask the players now to try to type dance? Would that be game breaking, do you think?
We should. I think that if you dance in front of queens that are at a wall, the queens move to the side and let you in.
Yeah, and start dancing with you, that would be awesome. How to counter queen wall? Yeah, you just start dancing with them.
They can't resist, it's the counter.
Yeah.
Dance is the counter, you have to know
which
units can dance.
Yeah. Dance, baby. Now, PWF Tails going for a Banshee and also doing the thing we love when Banshees are considered. Then we lose the ability to see these sexy pilots, but still, Banshees are pretty good. Now, a huge Hellion run by, and the Workers, again, not such a good placement by Tefel, although I get a feeling that it was slightly better than the last game. Let's take a look on the Workers killed count, and it's 9, much better than the 11 last game. But then we have, and I would like to play a theme song from a very old sitcom, but I don't have it anywhere near myself. We have 2 Banshees with cloak technology on their way to the main of the Zerg.
Warcrow is coming up, but it doesn't look like it's going to be in time.
Oh yes, Warcrow
the
is going to
Overseer's
be
right
late.
there.
Yeah, and the Queen is going to be killed. Oh no! Wow, nice transfuse, good reflexes by Tefel, but then he doesn't have enough energy to keep this healing on. And oh, he didn't produce enough spore crawlers around his base, even though he had minerals. He has lost focus for a second, and this may cost him a victory, but then he has an Overseer here, which is a great save. And let's take a look at the Workers lost. Total of 19. There's a counter attack going on right now. Roaches are making their way inside the Terran's base, and in fact, PWF Tails doesn't have anything to counter that with. Only a couple of Marines. There's a Hellion on its way, but it's no good. You need a siege tank, mate.
Yeah, and actually, Tails there didn't click on a mineral patch, so they got they instead of walking right through the roaches, they actually got caught up in them a little bit, and a couple extra kills for Tefel.
And both of these guys are doing terrible, terrible damage right now. PWF Tails taking nearly all the add-ons that you can. In Terran's base, he of course will lose the roaches, but then PW Tails also has managed to kill off additional workers, up to 28 worker. Lost count.
And he's looking going to go for this upgrade. It's actually really close. He's going to try to finish this off in time. There's no repair coming.
Yes!
Oh, right before the upgrade gets finished off. That's a big deal.
So, pretty good play from both of the sides. Maybe not exemplary, maybe not perfectly executed, but still showing how things should be done around here. And Tefel trying a roach approach, he managed to clear off two very nasty broad widow mines, but that's not enough. Oh, will he get this one or will he? Yes, he got it.
Right, and the Hellbats are chasing down roaches. Not something that you'd expect, but it certainly does happen.
Run! They have flamethrowers! Yeah, not something you expect every day.
Yeah, another little bit of harassment from Tails. This Banshee is going to be wailing away at the fourth base of the Zerg player.
There are two more Banshees, because by defending, Tails has overproduced Banshees, so he will just use them now for even more harassment. And that sweet little thing that we love with Clove Banshees is that the Zerg didn't prepare for it well enough, I fear.
Yep, so we got those two more Cloak Banshees coming in. Cloaking before he gets into the base. Gets spotted by the Spore Crawler. A little bit sloppy. He knew that that Spore Crawler was there, but gets a couple of kills with the drones in any case.
But there is a Muta. A single Muta that's going to save the day, and all of his cousins are joining in the party right now, and PWF Tails just running away with the Banshees, being afraid to lose them. But then,
he gets some more kills.
A little cocky, and he loses one Banshee, but still, he has got enough worker kills not to worry about such little details as Banshees lost.
Yeah, he's got 37 workers killed, 38 workers killed.
39 workers killed.
Yeah,
40
workers killed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we could be here forever just counting the workers killed.
Learning how to count with Yegalisk TV.
43.
Oh, and a huge run by of Hellions at the top. Now I just sense that Tefel is doing all of the things right, but then his timing is slightly odd and misplaced, and he has just fallen apart in terms of defenses. This is why all of these counter-attacks or of these run-bys are doing more damage than they should.
Oh, and check this out. We're going to see some Swarm Host play out of Tefel. So, very exciting. Haven't seen it very much Swarm Host play in the higher levels, so very interested to see what he ends up doing with these Swarm Hosts.
Now, Swarm Hosts, one of the best techniques I saw with them is just to burrow them for a second, let them spawn the locusts that are strapped to its back, and then burrow up and run away. And then you just ignore the fact that they have a counter on the respawn. You just spawn these little free units and run away.
And these Hellions are actually going to get over here.
Oh, yeah, he did
nice
manage to.
Yeah.
He did manage to intercept them with these. Now, are Hellions faster than? Yes, they are. They are faster than the Mutas. Yeah. Okay, but then if we take a look at PWS Tails' base and we notice all of these mech tech here, well, it's hard to say that he's very likely to lose this game. Tefel has suffered from a lot of damage, and he would need to show us some stellar play in order to secure a victory in this game.
We'll have to see. Can the Swarm Hosts turn this around?
Oh, well, yeah, we'll see in a second. The roaches are upon the Widow Mine, so many of them lost, and the Swarm Hosts are just lagging behind, because if you carry so many children on your back, it is bound to slow you down. And Tefel right now will use the Swarm Hosts to just slow down the Terran's approach, and that's... I'm just interested to see how that works out. We didn't see Swarm hosts play too much. I mean, people on the ladder played a lot, but in these games, in our tournaments, we just haven't seen all that much. Now, what I think Tefel should do is just to synchronize all of his Swarm hosts, because they are spawning these how the locusts at different times, and that's not so good. But then maybe it's good enough. We'll see. Wow, how many swarm hosts do we have on the map? It's 14. That is actually huge. But there is a run by of Hellions at the top base, and let's see if Tefel is able to defend that. Oh, a nice round on the Hellion. In the meanwhile, the swarm hosts are doing a pretty good job just defending this this valley here. And Tefel is still holding up. Will he manage to secure a victory in this match? It would actually be a nice accomplishment, and with this huge roach force, he may actually get a chance of doing that. Wow, I am impressed.
Yeah, he's just got this constant stream of locusts coming out.
And the problem with the locusts is that they have so much health, and they don't cost a thing, and even if a locust manages to deal a single point of damage, that's still good enough, because you know, it costs 0. You have just traded 0 for something. That means you're a very good salesman.
You must work at a casino. You know?
Yeah.
People just give you the money. Very easy. Very
Hello.
nice business.
Here are my dollars now. You know, shut up and take my money. Okay, so Tefel now trying a multi-pronged attack, again laying siege with these swarm hosts. It seems that PWF Tails is not really sure how to deal with that, and in the meanwhile still... Oh my god, did you see how many mutas were just killed by this pack of widow mines that have been left behind? And on top, we still get the run by with Hellions, and again... In this game, oh my god, Tefel has lost 64 workers total, and even though he has a spank roller here, it's still not good. And who's laying siege on whom? I mean, the roles have... Yeah, the roles have switched. So where do we go?
16 swarm hosts on the map right now.
Yeah.
So.
Where do we go from now, Jack? What do the players have to do? I mean, with the swarm host, such a huge force of swarm hosts, I've got a feeling that Tails is in a disadvantage right now, to say it politely.
I would say Tails is up against the wall.
3 Vipers just got destroyed by these widow mines.
Noticing this.
No, he's just running. Where the hell are my units? Where did you go? Hey! A bunch of deserters. Well, he could use the Vipers to pull these units up. I mean, Tefel has all the right ideas. When we see his play, he has all the ideas that Zerg should be having in all of these situations. He's showing a great example of how to play with the swarm, Heart of the Swarm units. But he can't keep losing his army on the way. These widow mines. Let's check how many kills they have. 11, 9, 8, 11, 5. 4 widow mines. That's and the siege continues, but the Jericho stands.
Yeah, for now, but he's been taking out Thors, he's been taking out Hellions and tanks with these 3 units, so it's Tails is gonna have to do something about it.
Now Tefel at last has noticed that there were widow mines here, and he tried to approach them with a couple of overseers, and only one was left standing. This one has probably been born in sport.
Killed. Oh, like he's killing so many workers right now.
And the Hellion harassment continues. Yeah. This game is sick. This is the display of how can Heart of the Swarm really work. While we think about professional games, a very good example of play from both sides, and this is so freaking entertaining. I could be watching this all day long.
Yeah, now he's actually even beginning to support with Hydra, and Vipers and Hydras working really well together. And he's got the Swarm host. He's making it into the super late game. But we have battle cruisers coming in. We have an air fleet in the background that's starting to build up.
Did you notice that Locusts kind of look like small versions of Ultralisks?
Yeah.
Kinda.
I feel like they're Ultralisk Infestors combo, but very small. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but they are ugly. Yeah.
They're what?
They are ugly as it, as ugly as it gets.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you're Zerg, you take pride in your ugly.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
So Tefel right now repositioning his swarm host. Now, is he aware that there are battle cruisers on the way? There are 3 more. Oh, a huge fleet of Vikings and 4 battle cruisers are already here. This will be entertaining, my good friend. Whatever I should say, I'm not sure how to say it anymore. And the battle cruiser.
Yeah, so the swarm host can't shoot up. The roaches can't shoot up. He's got a couple of Hydralisks here, but they're not really going to be able to get anything done. So
and the point defense drones. The point defense drones are on, and the Zerg just spills all over the place. I'm not sure that Terran can control this. In fact, he keeps losing stuff, and Yamato cannons are firing, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. Oh! Does Yamato cannon have splash damage?
No, it doesn't. That was just 2 Yamato cannons that were really close together.
Okay, sorry.
Nope. That's what I actually checked it too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. It's Heart of the Swarm beta, and I get constantly surprised with all the changes. Some
Anything
of them are.
can happen.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Wait, Hellions can fly? Oh my god, we're screwed.
Yeah, they combined the Hellion and the Viking. It actually has 4 transforming modes now.
You know what would be awesome? If a Medivac could pick up a siege tank and then strap it to its back, and then siege tank would be flying. But whenever you shoot with a siege tank, you get thrown back to the opposing side of the map. Just
oh yeah, a big kickback kind of a thing. It's like you
yeah,
shoot really far, but you get blown back. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I should be Heart of the Swarm lead designer when it comes to at least single player campaign. I'm not sure that would be very useful in multiplayer though. And anyway, Tails with a huge Sky Force trying to set a trap on his opponent. Now, see how active these battles are? These guys are constantly doing something. In Wings of Liberty, there would be just one huge clash like we have right now, and there's a blinding cloud which reduces the amount of shooting you can do as a range unit. I'm not sure it works on flying units though, and these battle cruisers are pretty much messed up, and there's another cloud of locusts that will clear off the remains of the ground army. But PWF Tails has to turn his attention towards dealing with what Zerg has to offer here, but then he also takes the 5th base, which is nice and sweet.
Yep, and he's cranking out that Hydralisk speed, and lots of Hydralisks are out on the way to deal with this Air Force.
Yeah. A very simple way to summarize Heart of the Swarm is a sentence that someone on the chat used, but we'll be back with that in a second. These battlecruisers are now getting destroyed or not by these Hydras, and oh, again Hydras they go, and Hydras they need to run away. Someone summed up Heart of the Swarm on the chats by saying Heart of the Swarm is way more back and forth, a lot more aggression and shit. That's actually a very good way to put it, my friend. This is exactly what Heart of the Swarm is about aggression and shit.
Both of those things. Equally, in equal parts, very important to have both. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And another huge battle, although I kind of think that right now that PWF Tails has just too big of an air advantage over the ground forces of Tefel.
I really don't know what these swarm hosts are doing over here. It's a complete air army. I feel like they should be somewhere else.
How do you call that that bird that burrows his head under the sand in English?
Ostrich.
Ostrich, yeah. So it's it's how an ostrich would behave. They move kind of the same. And right now Tefel trying to storm the front, and wow, with his upgraded force, free Hydras do a lot of damage. Although I'm not sure they can be up to par with battle cruisers and siege tanks. But then the damage has been dealt with just a small force of Hydras. The question is, how long can Zerg keep up the production? Now this game is entertaining.
The issue with using Hydras against battle cruisers is battle cruisers start with 3 armor. Plus 3 armor upgrades is 6 armor, so they're really not doing that much damage as they're more low damage, fast fire rate kind of a unit.
You know what was the situation when I learned that battle cruisers have in fact built-in free armor? I have saw a lot of battle cruisers and still went for mass marines. I thought, yeah, my marines can shoot up. and then I was wondering, why do these bullets keep bouncing off? So another run by with the Zerglings, but not doing a very much, not doing a lot of damage, because there is a Widow Mine here, a single swarm host being burrowed like an ostrich, and that's it. These players keep exchanging blows, but none of them wants to die, it seems.
Yeah, it's just... PWF Tails has a huge supply advantage right now, but the it looks like the economic advantage is in the hands of Tefel, I believe. Oh no, it's not, because mules exist.
Another run by beautifully. Did you see that? Tefel just separated 2 Zerglings to take up the damage from the Widow Mine that he knew that there was burrowed there. And will we have a base trade? No, the Terran goes back trying to defend this. A lot of command centers that have just been built will go down alongside with this beautiful planetary fortress. And the Terran is near. Will it be the end of Tefel, or will Terran suffer some more losses? I think Tefel will just run away. He has done the damage he wanted to, so there's no point in losing all of these units right now. On the other side of the map, we have another run by with the Helios. My god, Tails is doing so much damage with these. 104 workers lost.
I was going to ask, I was like, what are we up to right now? The workers lost tab.
Yeah. I already got the sense that we're casting like the 3rd game in a row, because so many things have happened. All the Widow Mines that were here, and they have dealt so much damage, all these run-bys. It just seems like a couple of games instead of one, and all of that thanks to the fact that this is Heart of the Swarm. And by the way, we are only at the 36-minute marks, and the game has been so intensive that in Wings of Liberty, only like 1 hour long games would get that much intensive. So that's awesome. That's what we love about Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, I feel like this game has been going on for a long time, but in the best of ways. In like the I'm so exhausted at being exciting and all the action. I'm just like, oh, this must have been going on for a while. Oh no, it's 36 minutes.
Yeah. I feel I'll be needing another tea after this, because I'm not sure I can keep going without another
Yeah, I'm actually halfway through my water. Started with 32 ounces, or 1,000 milliliters.
And no one thinks when a commentator has got to pee. That's one of the most terrible
No, actually, commentators don't have to pee. Ever.
Ah, right.
It's one of the magic gifts of the commentator.
Okay. It's a trait. It's a racial trait you get once you decide your profession. Okay.
Right, you decide that.
Yeah. But then to sum up, we have a huge bunch of Ravens alongside with battle cruisers and Vikings and shit, like one of you has put it. Then countering that, we have
Are these gonna connect? None of them are gonna connect.
No.
Away just in time.
The Seeker missile is not doing enough damage.
That would have been game over. That would have been game over for Tefel.
And Tefel, I'm not sure why he keeps going for the Hydras. Yeah. Right now, he's in a very tough spot, and probably it's one of the first times he's trying to deal with such an endgame mixture of units. Because in Heart of the Swarm, a lot of mixtures are not yet have been experimented with, and thus you don't know what the counter to that is.
Yep, it's especially the late game is still being figured out in a very major way.
Yeah, you kind of expect to see games like this in GSL, where players just try to figure out things live on the highest level. You know, once you have 400 APM, you can figure the game out later. And PWF Tails destroying Zerg's bases, but then we can say the same for Tefel. Tefel is very good at avoiding the slow army of the Terran, and that's something we haven't mentioned earlier, that this army, this Sky army, is actually very slow. Even though Vikings are faster, he cannot separate them from the rest of the army, because that would leave the battle cruisers kind of defenseless. And with the speed upgrade to Hydras, Tefel is able to do run-bys and even more of them, and these guys are just, you know, destroying each other, and we still don't know which one has the advantage.
Yeah, well, I mean, this has been a slugfest. The army supply is very much in the favor of Tails right now, and Tefel's long-distance mining with all of his workers, so he's really going to have to get this hatchery up over at the southern central expansion if he's going to be able to work his way back into this game.
Yeah, so if we would compare this to a boxing match, it would be like round 16, and both of the guys would have their eyeballs popped out, and they would have scars alongside their faces, and huge losses of teeth, especially the front teeth. That's most cartoony like, and they would still keep on fighting like
Absolutely,
Rocky Balboa.
Like Rocky Balboa. Temple, the Rocky Balboa Zerg. Just get scanned. Oh, his hatchery just finished there, and now it's gonna get scanned, so.
Oh.
GG!
And GG, oh my god.
Well played.
If we have been exhausted by this game, I just cannot think how much exhausted the players themselves are.
Absolutely.
What a game. Guys, by the way, remember to subscribe us, because this is not a standalone tournament. No, we have them every single week, no matter what. You know, the Pope can decide to leave his post, but we will not leave Jägerlisk TV, so I strongly encourage you to subscribe. The button is probably somewhere below this video. But with all the Twitch changes, it can be pretty much everywhere. Probably hiding behind some new interface element. And also, if you like us, just let us know on Team Liquid in one of our threads, and then you will enter the pool of people who may win a Heart of the Swarm copy every month. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. So we are waiting to go into the game number 3. In the meanwhile, guys, please enjoy a short commercial break. We'll be back with you. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, we are here, we are in the lobby. The map is going to be Cloud Kingdom, one of the most enduring maps in the ladder pool. Wouldn't you say that, Jack?
Definitely. Cloud Kingdom and Daybreak are these just two really great maps that have been around for a long time and still produce just excellent games pretty consistently.
And Daybreak doesn't even get old. I mean, I love the first time that I was casting a game on that map. It was a love from the first sight, and I still love casting games on Daybreak. I'm not so sure I can say the same about Cloud Kingdom. It has kind of a moody atmosphere around it, you know. It's all gloomy, but Daybreak is basically the essence of Starcraft 2. It has lots of metal. It's somewhere in the space, so we can see a huge planet in the background. Yeah, what can you want more from a map?
Nothing. I got nothing else.
Yeah, unless there are some huge boobs painted into the landscape somewhere in the middle. This is actually how good a map can get, and that's it.
Probably wouldn't want that at all. I don't think that would be good at all.
Boobs? Or...
Painted on a map? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, all the players would go drooling. Oh. And they would be tipped with Zelnaga towers. Everyone would love to scout them. And they would tease each other. Oh, I have been here first.
Yeah, that might happen.
Sorry, you can pick it up now.
So in the top right-hand corner of our screen, we have PWF Tails, a Terran player.
Alright, and in the bottom left, we have Tefel spawning as the green Zerg. Green, one of the best colors you can pick for a Zerg. Although, it kind of looks like you are sponsored by Monster Energy Drink Series. Without,
I mean, that could be a good thing.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. I drink Monsters myself from time to time, but... And I think that the juicy ones are pretty good, because not too many companies do energy drinks with juice. Most of them they do it on a soda basis. Now on the on the other side of the map, we have Tails, who's going for a command center first, although he didn't take that command center down below, and this is how he's exploiting the fact that he knows about every strategy that Tefel can do, which is only a single strategy, and that is the 14 pool expansion.
Yeah, Tefel playing super safe.
Alright.
And Tails taking the economic advantage. The economic openers are going to take an advantage over the safe play. The safe play is going to take an advantage over the aggressive play, and the aggressive play is going to take the advantage over the economic play in a wonderful cycle of circles of openings, as usual.
Oh yeah. So we were just out of a very long game, even though it wasn't that long when you think about it. In Wings of Liberty, games were just much more passive, and when a game stretched in a 36-minute mark, you could expect a couple of battles, you could expect some harassment, but what we saw was a pure display of constant action. It was like an Arnold Schwarzenegger materialized inside a StarCraft 2 game and has become it.
Absolutely, you know.
Chuck Norris would be proud of that game.
Have you seen that Expendables movie, the new Expendables movie?
Yeah,
with,
it's
all the action stars. That's what that was like. All the big action stars all in one place, things exploding everywhere, packed. Some might say even with action.
You know, not many people noticed that, but there was one scene where there was a boat chasing an airplane on the river. And not many people know, but the guy who was shooting from a mortar to that flying plane while speeding up on a boat on a river against waves, he probably has won a Nobel Prize in mathematics, really, if you think about it. You need to
definitely hard to do.
Yeah, you need to think about the angle, the acceleration of your target, which is the plane, the height of the plane. So you need to know at which part of the arc that the mortar bullet is making. Do you want it to hit the plane? And then the boat keeps jumping back and forth because it's driving alongside the river. And you know, taking all of that into account, I just came to a conclusion that this is a Nobel Prize winner, and he's just wasting his beautiful mind in the army of some mumbo jumbo.
Beautiful Mind, of course, is a great movie.
Yeah.
About a mathematics mind that received prizes. It's kind of perfect. 3 command centers very quickly is going to allow the Tails to be building the SCVs as well as expanding when it is safe, but lots of mule droppage and SCV buildage in the meantime. Really nice placement on this this bunker. This has one of the coolest places I think for bunkers
Yeah.
at this particular map, because you can put the supply depot in front like that. It perfectly blocks it off.
Also, someone on the chat made a very decent comment, which was Tails is feeling very confident with his macro, with that super fast third command center, and that's actually a great point, because oh, that Zerglings just blew up to pieces. And we have forgot what the good comment was anyway, no. No, just joking.
Oh
no. Because we saw some blood and explosion, and that's enough to detract our man attention from something else. Something that was actually worthwhile to listen. No, but what our friend was saying is actually a very good point. If you're going for such a fast third command center, that just shows your confidence against an opponent, you know, confidence in your own skill. Take it for what you want.
Absolutely, spreading creep like a bouse all over the house of Cloud Kingdom, and the defense of the Widow Mines is proving to be quite nice. Lots of supply depots. Wow.
Although
lots of supply depots in the front.
Yeah, and that's more of a Torzin style. He kind of goes for that sort of a play. But then what I wanted to say is that Blue Flame Hellion, sorry, any Flame Hellion on this map is not going to be so strong, because there are just much more chokes and tunnels here, and it's a lot easier for the Zerg to defend any sort of a pressure you can apply with Hellions, and to defend all the harassment that probably Tails is planning to throw at the Zerg. Any comment?
Yeah, and we have the a little bit of late armory, so waiting on this 2-2 to come up. In the meantime, the Zerg upgrades will be able to catch up in the situation to even out.
Oh, do you see what's going to happen? Tefel went for a very quick swarm host, and he is right now, he saw so many Hellions, and he knows that there probably isn't too much other stuff in Tails' army, and now he'll be trying to break that with a force of roaches and a couple of swarm hosts. And will that work?
Swarm hosts coming out? They gotta get all the way across the map, and I feel those roaches are a little bit premature.
Yeah, I think that attack was kind of premature. Now, what would work awesome is if he would have gone for the overload drop play and dropped all of that, including the swarm hosts, into the Terran's main. We will see. Yep. There is a counter-attack along its way on the map. Remember, guys, this is the third game. Whoever wins this gets to a final and has a $25 guaranteed prize. He can fight for $75, which total makes up to $100 prize pool. And Tefel has already swarm host, but there has been a scan from the Terrans. Will he focus enough? No, he didn't manage to get all of the swarm hosts. He uses another scan, and that should be enough, although Tefel surrounds it beautifully from behind with his roaches.
Drop is going to do a lot of damage, though.
Oh,
Comes
no.
in really quickly. He might be able to snipe some key tech structures before the units get in and around.
Drop plays so much more powerful and potent right now in Heart of the Swarm with this speed boost on Medivacs. You can just do stuff like this, and don't mind it. You can just go for it. There's nothing stopping you. And by the way, it just feels cool to push one button and have your units go faster. It's like a nitro button. You say
That's
nitro or nitro?
exactly what it is.
I think you say nitro.
Nitro. I say nitro.
Yeah.
But that might be a pronunciation of different
That's just my carrying over Polish pronunciation to English. I do that a lot. I try to stop myself, but it's difficult. If the word is exactly the same and the pronunciation is different, it's hard to stop yourself. But then we have another roach approach here, and PWF Tails is, yeah, he is prepared to deal with it. Although, is he? You know, he needs to be careful because Tefel right now will be just throwing 3 units. Now in the mineral line of Tefel there is another drop. Not so many units involved, so he'll be able to deal with that just fine with a couple of roaches and one swarm host. But here at the front, this swarm host is actually dealing tons of damage, and I love the positioning that Tefel is showing us. He uses a swarm host to give extra damage, and that's something that Tails doesn't, you know, calculate in during the fights. And roaches are a bait, and then the swarm host deal the real damage. And see how Terran's force has crumbled in this fight.
I'm really liking the swarm host play. It's just this relentless crushing through of force with all of these units. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold on to this third. He's fighting and losing units against temporary units. Just a matter of time at this point. The third base to fall, unless Tails pulls some sort of a trick. He's going to have to make something happen here, and it's not looking too good.
And in Legacy of the Void, the hallucinations will also deal damage just to make things fair. That's how it works. Now guys, Tefel, I think this is an exemplary play of how you can use your swarm hosts. At first it was just a gentle pressure, if you can call pressure gentle, but I'm just exercising my diplomacy here. Gentle pressure with the swarm host, and right now it's turning into a wave you are having problems with stopping.
Yeah, I mean the third base is gone, but I mean this is not over. He's just going to continue to throw these locusts into the natural basin. And what is the response?
Yeah, you need to have some sort of a splash damage. I think Battlecruiser actually were a good response, although they come a little bit later than the swarm hosts themselves, so I don't imagine they will become a permanent counter to that. And Tefel doing a fantastic.
Not looking good. I don't think he's going to be able to finish it off. This might be the crushing blow that finishes off Tails. At this point in time, he's lost his natural, he's lost his third. He's doing a counterattack drop, and he might take the third of his opponent, but there's really not much else that he can do. We're sort of hanging on a miracle here for Tails.
Yeah, and Tefel is just showing the power of the swarm itself, and he just he's just the person who can show you how to use swarm hosts in a game. And even though, you know, Tails has Widow Mines, a lot of Marauders, all that beefy stuff that Terran can have, Tefel has it. Tefel has the front. He's completely secure with just using the swarm host 3 units to attack, and in the back he's defending from this one single drop. And even if he loses a lot, then he still has the army advantage, and Terran cannot go anywhere on the map right now. And
GG!
And GG! Yes! You knew that's going to happen. Oh, such a pleasure casting with you, mate.
Same here.
Alright, so we have the finalists. We have Tefel, and could you remind me who was the other one? Was it Goody?
It was Goody.
Yeah, it was Goody. So Tefel versus Goody. It's going to be an awesome game. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Remember to subscribe us if you're good people. No, really, if you appreciate what we're doing, it would be awesome if you let us know by subscribing. Then, if I check my email after the stream and I will see a huge list of new subscribers, that actually keeps me going, that keeps me motivated, and that keeps me doing more and more of what we do here on Jäger TV. So we'll be back after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, and keep your butts close to your chairs.